Alrighty, I see a few people piling in. Had a little technical difficulty or hitch. The stream went live but didn't transfer right away to YouTube for some reason, so I had to refresh a few times and restart it. But here we are. Here we go. Welcome, everybody. Happy Monday to you all. June 9th, 2025. So when you folks are ready, get those questions in for me. Live open forum on the stream here. As usual, I don't have any pre-done content, so rely on you folks to drive the Q&A here with your questions. So don't be afraid, start firing away. So again, folks, it's a live open forum here for Trade Ideas Q&A. Don't be afraid, don't be shy. Get your questions in for me. This is not a pre-done content show. Rely on you folks to drive the content of this live stream with your questions. So again, please don't be shy. Get those questions in for me. Jerry, sure, 5-minute trade wave window. So you're going to have your toolbar right here, or menu bar, menu bar. Go to New, Market Explorer. You get a window that looks like this. I'm going to expand it a little bit. Right click, select strategy. You'll find Trade Wave, and you'll see the 5-minute. It's right there for you. And then just a video to have on your own that goes over that and a bit more as far as the Trade Wave goes. Here's a video that I did on it. You could watch in your own time. I mean, you could watch now, but we're here live now, so I can answer questions now. And if you want to just bookmark that for later, if you have any other questions later when we're not in the live stream, that video should be helpful for you. You're very welcome. And of course, if you have other questions, Jerry, now, don't be shy. Get those in for you. Vito, how are you? Good morning to you. Just cracking to the afternoon on the East Coast here. Nope, Michael, we're just stocks. We have a couple of filters that relate to options volume, but no options chains or strikes, options change or strikes or anything like that. No contracts. Just some volume around contracts, puts, calls, ratios, things like that, but no futures whatsoever. A chart indicator for risk spread. I'm not sure what you're referring to for the risk spread there, Jerry, but the buy and sell indicators, that's Trade Wave. So there's the couple of scans that we have, and then these are Trade Wave buy sell indicators, and you can get those. Right click the chart, make sure that browser interface is checked here. See, it's unchecked. Now I'm checking it. So make sure that's checked. And then you'll look for this little FX in the top left. Go ahead and click that FX and you'll see the trade wave there, and you can turn it on by clicking on the trade wave. That's what the buy sell indicators are on the chart that I have there. That the previous day's candle was green. No, I no, nothing like that. I mean, as far as previous day or yesterday for data points, yeah. I mean, we have a few different yesterday, previous day items in here, change in the previous day. So, maybe this will work for you. There's no, that yesterday was green. So this filter, it's the change from the prior day to, or the 2 days ago to yesterday. So you could say, that it was up yesterday X amount, but that doesn't mean that doesn't mean it's a green candle, right? Because something, you could have something gap way up and then it fades through the day and it's technically up, but, you know, smart risk indicator levels, it's just an algorithm that's looking at some position and range and, excuse me, average true range and volatility, and giving a suggestion based on that. It's not, you know, Yep, I knew it. I don't understand why my audio keeps going out like that. All right, so let's try that again. So I'm going to go with you guys can hear me now. So I've made several adjustments. Just seems to be one of those days today. Uh, smart risk level here on the intraday chart. It's a combination of ATR and volatility, and the target is just 2x that. So it's at anybody's discretion how they actually want to use that. On the daily chart here, we got the swing exit, and that's the low of the last 20 days, and that's what that is for that smart risk level. So I think up until that, whatever the heck happened to my mic, we were good till then. If there was something else that we were touching on that when I cut out, let me know, and I will we'll circle back to that, of course. So keep the questions coming. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. So again, don't be shy, folks. Get some questions in here for me. Please, please, please. Much more fun for me when you're all engaging. I can of course talk whatever kind of, nonsense when it comes to stocks, but I don't have any I don't have an insight that's any more special than anybody else as far as that stuff goes. My insight is into the functions of trade ideas. All right, so the audio cut out on your question about the yeah, we don't have any formula or anything that says a candle was green yesterday. So all we have is this here. I guess like I said, it cut off. Yes, cut off when I was in the middle of it. So we can tell you it was up, right? So this previous day here, either one of these, we can tell you it was up from the prior day. So we could, for example, this could tell you that Friday was up from Thursday with this filter, but up doesn't mean green, right? Because the stock could gap, here's the close, and the stock could gap up to here and trade all the way down to here. And it's still actually up for the day, even though it closed down. It opened here, right? And it closed down here. So there's no way we don't have a way to tell you the prior candle was green, just that it was up. So hopefully that clears that up. Sorry about that with the audio cutting out. Yeah, David, I don't, I've got a very expensive Yeti microphone. Let's try again. Did you hear my explanation again on the, all right, yep, you got that. Yeah, for the videos, David, I don't really have much of an explanation. I've got a very expensive Yeti mic. I put it as close to my face as I can without it being in my face. And, I turn all the settings up for it and everything like that. So I just don't really have an explanation of why my videos come out with that low audio. Excuse me. Jamie, I'm not exactly sure what you're asking. Um, are you trying to automate a strategy? Is that what's going on? You could give me some context here. Here I am connected to the simulator. Unless I actually place the trades, nothing's going to happen. Of course, you can create and set strategies, right? So you'd come in here to the strategies you created, whatever strategies you created. You got to make sure in the edit strategy, you set all the trading instructions in here, and that you also connected your account, right? There's two parts to brokers, right? You connect to the broker itself, right? But then you have to select an account. You know, there's the accounts for the manual trading, and then you would select the account in here for that. And that's really the short and skinny of it there. No, there's no automation of Holly. There's only automation of the strategies you create. There's no automation of Holly. We do not advertise it. We do not offer it. We do not show it as a feature anywhere at all on our site whatsoever or in our user's guide. There's only automation for strategies you create. So if it's automation of Holly that you're trying to do, I'm sorry, but I don't know what led you to believe that that's a feature, but it's not. There has been talk from our CEO a few different times when he's doing the live stream that he wants to bring in a Holly automation, but there's not even a roadmap or actual plan for that to happen at this moment. Um, so, what will happen? If he wants it to happen, yes, it will happen. But there's no, there's nothing forthcoming at the moment on that. But a strategy needs to be something, an automated strategy is an alert window you created, an actual alert window. Is it possible to build? Yes. I mean, so if we come to, let me bring up an alert window. We have some different things in here. If you look for, there's candle patterns that we have that exist already for alerts. So you have these pre-built ones. We have geometrics somewhere here. We have some geometric patterns. Then, there are outside the box ways to build some things. It takes some trial and error and some, little outside the box thinking. So, for example, let me find the scan that Andy created. So, Andy Linloff created this bull flag scanner here. And how he did that was he gave it a price range. And then, stock's got to be up from yesterday. He put this in here to get rid of ETFs. Give it a 5-day range. So that's the flag itself, it's up between 1% and 5% over the last it's trading in between 1% and 5% over the last 5 days to create that flag. It can't be up more than 1% in the last 5 days to make sure the flag forms properly or as close to properly as possible. And then it's got to be 75% above the low of yesterday's range. Put this composite rating in here to try to find some, quote, more quality stocks. And then it's got to be up at least 3% in the last 10 days. That gives it the pull. And he put some volume metrics in here as well. And so it was an outside the box way that he went at it. And so we can see this here. Let's take a look at some of these stocks on come through. So you can see what it's trying to do here. Here's the pull and trying to flag right there. Same concept right there. Up those days and trying to flag through here. So, we can see what it's trying to do here for that bull flag. Some going to look better than others. So I can go ahead and share that out if you want as, something you can refer to for this kind of outside the box thinking for some kind of pattern stuff that you're looking to do. And then there's one other little tool that I'm going to show you, or feature. I shouldn't say tool necessarily. If we come back into an alert window configure here, and we go to symbols list. If you go to add existing list, it's all alphabetical. So scroll down and look for daily. Go ahead and expand that. And there's these daily, oops, that's not what I want. There's these different daily patterns that are in here, or different daily candles that you can find in here as well. And there's a algorithm that looks for these kind of candles. And so if you set this up, you'll find, whatever exists that's like that will pop into the scan. It's probably better to use these with a top list for the most part, actually, instead of an alert window. But I'll leave that up to you folks to decide for yourselves. You are very welcome, Michael. And keep the questions coming, folks. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. See it before the breaking news. I'm not sure what you're referring to, Jerry. Is it a scanner that someone made? If it's a scanner that someone made, I'd need a cloud link to it to know what they're trying to do with it. Yeah, there's a lot of standard strategies, Jerry. So, I open up I can open up a dock channel bar. I don't know if it's in one of these channels, maybe. Kidding me. I don't use any of these items in here, and they change fairly often, it seems, these days. So if maybe that's an explosive winners. I would just guess that it's going to have some relative volume in there and 1 minute volume and/or 5 minute volume. I don't know. Nuclear energy is probably actually nuclear energy. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be any of these channels here. But that would be my guess if someone was building that. They'd be using this relative volume filter and this 1 and possibly this 5 minute volume here. These take 10-day averages for those time periods, break them down into those time frames, use a percent. So 100 is normal, 200 is 2 times, 300 is 3 times, so on and so forth, like that. Yeah, you can't share links in this, unfortunately. It's a one way of sharing of links. I can share them out as an admin, but it's to prevent bots from coming in here and spamming us with links, unfortunately. If you want to email it to info@trade-ideas.com, let me know when you've emailed it. I could grab it that way from you. Info@trade-ideas. The other thing, like with any scan, you can take it, right click, come to the configure, you go to the Windows specific filters, you'll see what they've done in there to create that scan. but I'm confident that it's going to be those volume metrics in there. So yeah, if you shoot that over, I mean, I'm happy to. We can open it up here and kind of walk through it. I'm sure I can certainly give some insight into the thoughts behind what they were doing there with that scan. Alrighty, so let me see here. So in the meantime, let's take a look at this real fast. We're chopping here at that 600 level. Having a tough time trying to break through it. I'm not sure. I don't think so, actually, Jerry. I don't think there's a way to see the comments, unfortunately, on the replay. Whenever I've looked back in the past, I couldn't find them, actually. If you shoot me an email to remind me, I'll dig around after I wrap up here and see if I can't find them. Pepe says you can, then I'd listen to him. I don't really look at the replays much, so I just remember once or twice I needed to look at a replay for something and didn't notice them there. Let's see, where would we find those comments? Oh, there they are. Yeah, they're right there. Nope, never mind. Andy popped them out on his. Show chat replay. I see. All right, got it. So that's under the bring this whole thing out here. So sorry, messing around with it. So all right, if we're on YouTube here and we come to show more, I think that was under there. Yep, under that show more, live chat replay. And there you go. It would have the chat replay there for you like that. There we go. Very good, very good. And that would be why I never saw them before, because I was looking, usually after Dan does a live stream, I go to look at some of the stuff he talked about in there so I can prepare myself for any questions that come in. You are welcome, Jerry. All right, folks, got about 20 minutes, give or take, left in today's session. So keep them coming, keep them coming. So, all right, nothing coming in from you folks. In the meantime, I'd take a look at a few of these sectors here. So, uranium leading the way at the moment. The semiconductors trying to get themselves going again here. K-Web representing Chinese internet stocks, holding itself up all right now. Silver junior miners, oil services, silver itself. XME here. I'm looking pretty sharp here. Not too far off an all-time high. And back to some semis and the SMH here. Actually, SMH looks a lot better than the SOXX. Well, yeah, definitely looks better, yeah. Maybe not a lot better. No, yeah, a lot better. Definitely a lot better. Interesting. tan for the solar stocks. Can't imagine this looks good overall. Yeah, not awesome. That's to say the least. So P, your gas and oil exploration stocks. Not awesome. Again, anybody with some questions, don't be shy. Get them in for me, please. What's strongest on the year? Obviously, uranium, silver, emerging markets. Look at that. Interesting enough. Technology, of all things. Look at that. It's okay. Not too shabby. Sitting just off lifetime highs on the technology sector. Serious bounce on that. That V recovery. No, you could use a change in X amount of time, right? Come to an alert window here. Use one of these change filters in dollar or percents and whatever amount of time here. One of those would help catch it. Some people don't want to see stocks moving up too quickly if there's no volume behind it. So having them coupled together is a good way to eliminate that or cut down anyways. It's always a give and take too. Is there a way to configure a layout to use dark mode? Nope, no dark mode, sorry. Best thing you can do is the charts themselves. You right click here, properties, There's a dark theme if you want to use that. You can also, where is it? Sorry, chart style, select chart style. You can make some color changes on the background and gradient and things like that as well for the charts, but no dark mode, sorry. And nope, there's nothing on the way for a dark mode. And yeah, yep, Michael, price change works. Like I said, some people like to coordinate that with a some kind of volume filter. Not always, not always. Of course, of course. For all the damage done, here's the NASDAQ. Almost at all-time highs right here. Just off its all-time highs. That's pretty wild. Pretty wild. So where we're at 530, basically almost 532, 540. So about 9 points off. 9 full points off right now. Yeah, I'm sorry, Retro. I don't have any kind of workaround for you on that. I wish I did. So a couple more moments here before I wrap up for the day, folks. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. You got any other last minute burning questions? get a blinking. Nah, we don't have anything like that. Sorry, Retro. It's just, you click on a symbol and it just opens the chart. There's no indicator from the click of that or anything like that. Historical AI trades is a way to get total profit to update to the exit prices. Just what you see in here. So if you come to, history, whatever you go with, what you see in here is all we have to offer. There's no other kind of way to change it, update it, alter it, or anything like that. There are different columns you can add. Perhaps there's a column here that you may find useful. The master list of the columns is on the right. Displayed is on the left. So you select something on the right, push it to the left, and then press OK to display it. That would be what we have as far as those items go. Yeah, I don't know if that's the way it's supposed to be. I brought this up to the management team probably 2 weeks ago, and I haven't heard from them since about that, Retro. So I can make mention of that again for you tomorrow. I see what you're saying. What you originally posted was lost on me for a moment there. Yeah, I that doesn't make sense to me the way it is, and I just kind of always assumed it was based on the exit price, unless an exit price was never touched. Generally the exit price is the stop. So I'm not sure what went on there. If they changed something and I was not privy to it. So, all right, folks, as we approach 1 o'clock, that will do it for me on the day today. I thank you all for joining me. Not sure if it will be me or someone else tomorrow. We'll see how that all unfolds. I know Dan had been out last week, so I filled in for him on Wednesday. I think he's back this week, but don't quote me on that. The software is locking up, Vito. I'm going to guess you've just got too many windows open. That's the best I could guess right now. I don't have a lot of people telling me the software is locking up, and almost every time someone does tell me that, they've got like 40 windows open. So I would suggest this, Vito. Go to Windows and go to Show All. See what happens. You can check the list here and see what you've got going on there. If you got like 30, 40 windows open, you're going to have to start closing some. And retro, conservative, moderate, none of that exists anymore. All that was done away with a year ago, give or take. So if you're seeing conservative, moderate, or anything, you're on an older version of the software that no longer it's no longer viable. Latest beta has had issues. Interesting. The only time I ever have issues is when I'm live streaming. Today I had none, thank goodness. But I'm on the same thing everybody else would be on right now. Help. And about 5.6.106, and I don't have anything special. You know, sometimes people accuse me. They're like, "Oh, you have some special computer." Nope, I don't have any special computer. This is my computer. I'm on a 12th gen core, 2.1 gigahertz, 24 gigs of RAM. I don't have anything special going on here. Generally, when I'm having trouble, it's just when I'm streaming. What is recommended as far as Windows Max? I'm not sure what Windows Max is. Sorry. If you can, some context with what Windows Max means. You're looking at for system preferences, that I can give you this link. Hold on. Where system preferences? System requirements, whatever. Current system requirements. There is no maximum amount of windows allowed open, Vito. It varies on what you're doing with the windows. Not all top lists are created equal. Not all charts are created equal. Not all alert windows are created equal. 10 charts that have no indicators on them is not the same as 10 charts that have 5 indicators on them. One top list that has, 5 or 6 columns is not the same as a top list that has 15 columns. An alert window that has 1 selected alert and 5 filters is not the same as an alert window that has 6 selected alerts and 20 filters. All brokers are the same as far as I'm concerned. It's not like I'm testing brokers either. I'm sorry. I used Fidelity for a few years, but I wasn't really day trading when I was using Fidelity much. Executions were fine back then. Thinkorswim and IBKR, the same crap as far as I'm concerned. Those are the three brokers I really have experience with. So, all right, folks, and that's going to wrap it up for me. You all have yourselves a wonderful rest of your Monday, and we'll see how it all shakes out the next day or so if I'm back tomorrow or one of these other days this week. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.